David Attenborough, in his own words. Parkinson, broadcast on BBC One, 20th of December, 1975.
After all the study you've done on animals, what is it about animal lifestyle that appeals to you most of all as a human being?
The reason I think I am fascinated by animals is that there comes a moment, if you watch animals for any length of time, when you suddenly become aware that there is a category of creation which is quite independent of you, quite independent of man, that existed before man was there. And if man goes on in the way that he may go on, almost certainly will exist after he's gone, with a rhythm and with a logic and with a vitality and a burgeoning life, which is very moving and powerful. And it is those moments that are very precious when you glimpse them, and it is those moments that a child sees in animals. When a child is not just interested in an animal in the way that he is interested in a clockwork toy. He is interested in an animal, it seems to me, as a thing of wonder. And that's what excites me about animals.
And do you think that we're guilty perhaps of losing our sense of wonder about animals?
Yes, I do. I think that in urban surroundings, where you are surrounded always by concrete and tarmac, you forget that actually there are more birds than sparrows and starlings, and you forget that that life continues outside the city in a powerful way. And what is most touching, it seems to me, is that the more urban you get, the people who live in the worst of the concrete ghettos are the ones who actually become the most passionate. Gardeners, tropical fish keepers, and so on.
Yes.
If you want to find the best tropical fish shops, you don't go to the leisured areas where there are lots of parks and gardens. You go to the place where, for one reason or another, there's nothing but brick and tarmac and concrete, and those people actually know about tropical fish.
Yes. You've spent a lot of time away, of course, haven't you, in your work, away from that awful suburban surrounding that you described. What always fascinates me about a sort of modern explorer such as yourself is do you always get a friendly greeting from the natives? Or are they sometimes recalcitrant and hostile? They come brandishing clubs at you.
Oh, well, on one occasion they actually did.
Really?
Yes. It was some time ago now. It was in New Guinea. And in New Guinea at that time, we were going into a central part, which only about a couple of Europeans had been in before. It was a very big valley. And we had porters of 60 or 70 carrying all our food and stuff. And the way you handle porters in New Guinea is that they form a carrier line and you pay them so much a day and they start walking. And I was new in New Guinea at the time. I hadn't been there before. And we came to the top of a mountain pass and all the men put down their gear. And I thought they were going for a quick smoke. And understandable, top of the mountain pass, very cold, and they had a hard morning's marching. And I said, well, now, come on, lads. See, and they said, gee, no good, you see. And I said, why not? They said, we no go along him. And why not? I said, him felly stop now, him no good, he kai man, that means they're cannibals down there. And I said, now, lads, if it's another sixpence a day he wants, I mean, we can have a proper organised talk about this, And they said, no, you mean no good, him bad fella, you see. And while we were actually saying this, with me being very British about the whole thing, and I suddenly looked down the slope and I saw behind a tree a white cockatoo feather flash. And then I turned round again, and there behind a boulder was a glint of a knife. And I thought, being... and while I was in the process of thinking, see, suddenly, out onto the track, about 70 or 80 men suddenly jumped out of hiding and ran down towards us, brandishing spears and waving knives. And to say I was alarmed is to put it mildly. Charles Lagos, who was my companion at the time with the camera, had the presence of mind...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?